Right, watcher, how you doing? You join me in a little interim. This isn't really a part of the project with the Bandit. What this is chain cleaning. This is the chain from the Bandit. That's the inside of it. And this is the 3 years of chain lube, 2.5, 3 years of chain wax and lube off the inside. That's the inside face of the chain. That's the outside face, which I've been able to keep clean. And what I've got in here, in the old cat litter tray of doom, is just fresh oil. All I'm using for this is just some fresh engine oil all over the chain and drowning it in that stuff. Now the reason for this and not using a solvent, I want to clean this chain and get everything off it so it's absolutely spotless like that. This is a DID Regina gold chain. It's just about as good as they get. It's probably the best, one of the best chains on the market. I want to look after it. It's only done 20,000 miles and it will do 20 more yet. It doesn't have to be replaced at all. I've got to cut a lump out of it, as I said. But this idea, check that out. That's the back edge of it. That's the inside. And this is all the old chain wax. Now this stuff goes hard, literally like wax would do. And it just needs something like the cleaning properties of oil. And this is something you may not have come across, I don't know, so I thought I'd just chuck this video out there. There's nothing in the world as good as cleaning off thick, ingrained grease than clean oil. Let's just explain the point. Years ago, there used to be this product you could buy. It was a tin, about the size of a biscuit tin, and you took the lid off and what looked like inside was boot polish. And you put it over a flame, an old gas ring or something, and you melted it till it was liquid, and then you put your chain in it. I'm sure you've all seen these things. And the chain cooks in there for a good few hours, and you take it out and it's fully lubricated. Now the purpose of those was on a non-O-ring chain. When the chains themselves, between the metal pins and the flat plates on the outside, in here, in these little joints here, you had nothing at all, just a space, little tiny gap. Now that gap obviously all the oil would just fling out of it, and the idea of these little baths, these chain baths, was that you cook the chain in it, and this product would work its way right into the pins because it's hot, and when it's hot it goes very runny, and as such then it sets when it gets cold. So you've got this thick waxy lubricant inside on the pins, and over the course of whatever time that would fling out, and you do it again every couple of years. And I remember my old man cleaning chains in that way back, but not today. Today's modern chains have O-rings. In fact, this is an X-ring chain. It has a little tiny rubber ring which has flat edges on it, and that is sandwiched in between these outer plates and these inner links. You can't really see it because it's all oily and horrid, but it's kind of sandwiched in that little gap there. And those little rings will prevent any of this getting in. So there's no reason to use a solvent, because I don't believe it's very clever to use things like WD-40 and other solvents like that to clean your chain too often. It's right to use it to just smarten them up a bit, get the worst of the chain lube off, but this is I'm doing this as a long-term clean. I've got the opportunity because it's off the bike. So with an X-ring chain or an O-ring chain, you shouldn't go cooking it in those oil baths. It doesn't do them any good. The heat can damage those little O-rings, and it's not for them at all. In fact, you look at the tin, it says not acceptable or not suitable for O-ring chains. It is for non-protected chains, things like motocross bikes, that sort of stuff. But for a road bike like this, there's nothing better than just engine oil. There really isn't. There's no solvent in this, just the solvent properties in clean oil. If you've ever had thick, black, greasy hands from doing stuff like axles and stuff like that and half shafts, when your hands get thick black grease that you can scrape, then nothing better than a handful of fresh grease from the tin or a handful of fresh oil, and just wipe it all around, and it kind of liquefies that thick grease. And that's what I'm doing here. As you can see on these links, just using this oil. I mean, this oil went in here, it was completely clean, and look how it's filling up with all this cack. But it's, there you go, link by link you get all this stuff off. And as I said, because this is chain wax, it's very stubborn, and the only thing that will wipe it off will be some sort of severe solvent like a thinners or something, and that's not good, because that's then going to affect the little rubber O-rings, which are quite delicate. So the best thing in the world, fresh engine oil, and just one by one gently toothbrush them, and they all come up. And after that, I'm going to turn that over, because that's the bad side. That, as you can see, that's the good side, which I was kind of keeping clean, and it's already floating off just from sitting in the oil. Coming up lovely. Also, it's going to lubricate it. This is I felt it when I was moving this chain around. It felt quite stiff from all the years of being ridden and used. So I'm going to leave it in this oil. Just going to arrange it so there's oil around every single link. None of them are touching. And then leave it in here for 48 hours. So I can't do a lot on the project now. The next thing to do is put this chain on and then test ride it up the road to make sure the swing arm's good. And I can get involved in cosmetics, which is what this is really about. But some of these links I can feel, they're kind of gritty and dry. Not dry through lack of lubricant, but I don't know, just they feel gritty, sticky, too much lube on them over too many years. There you go. That's it. Right, another thing, just very quickly, while I leave this in, this is just going to soak now. I'm going to put another litre of oil in there and let it soak for 48 hours. Another quick thing, join the forum. There's not enough movement. We need some more forum members. We want to make 2,000 members on the forum if we can by the end of this year. If you want to be part of this, you know what the Idiot Collective is. It says it on the hat. The Idiot Collective is our ride group. Also, if you are an idiot and you want to be part of the fun, then you are part of the Idiot Collective. There's no president, there's no sub-secretary, there's no management, there's no nothing. That's the nature of a collective.
All you need is a bike and a hat.
A bike and a hat. And when you see another person in this hat, you know you've met a fellow idiot, wherever they are in the world. And if you go on the forum, this is the forum address at the bottom, go on there, join the forum, and there's a map now. We've got a map of all you members out there, so you can see where you are in the world. You can also see where your nearest fellow idiot is. And you can give them a PM, and you can drop in, and you can meet them, chill out, go for a meet for a cup of tea and a cake, or whatever it is your tipple and your danger. So there we are.
If you want a hat, just PM me.
PM Penny if you want a hat. It's as simple as that. She'll give you the details, and then you can be one of us, which is great fun. There.
That's it, thank you.
Going to leave this to bathe in oil for 48 hours, and then when it's all ready and done, wipe it all off clean, put it on a bike. Okay, take it easy, ride safe. See you next time.